learner will maneuver this aircraft and experience nearly 8 times the normal force of gravity as they maneuver the aircraft to the edge of its operating envelope. Today's show will be performed at speeds as fast as 700 miles per hour and as slow as 100 miles per hour. Many of the maneuvers seen before you today will demonstrate the aircraft's capabilities in the tactical arena and are employed every day during both training and combat flights. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the left, where you will now hear the Super Hornet's GEF 414 turbofan engines spooling up to their maximum power. Rob Simus, called sign Bonesaw, will release the brakes, allowing the engine's 42,000 pounds of thrust to accelerate the aircraft to its takeoff speed of 120 miles per hour. On takeoff, the air crew will then pitch up 40 degrees and perform a dirty roll while retracting the landing gear and continue over the top with a 1/2 Cuban 8. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from VFA 106 at Naval Air Station, Oceana, Virginia, the A-18 Super Hornet. They're on the roll, ladies and gentlemen. 42,000 pounds of thrust and 40,000 pounds of airplane. Watch for the dirty roll on takeoff. The high alpha pass means high angle of attack. The number of degrees that the nose is pulled up above the horizon or below the horizon. In this case, high alpha, pulling the nose up some 28 degrees, maybe even more above the horizon and slowing the aircraft down to a very slow speed. Okay, Rooney, call the alpha, call the speeds for us. We're listening.
Build about 15 alpha, target about 25 to 20 alpha, and ground speed is slowing down to about 115 knots.
115 knots, that's about 128 miles an hour.
Later for later.
And around there is 25 alpha. 105 knots.
Under 115 miles an hour. I got him in the middle of some G's. All right, now watch. This is what they do when they come back into the carrier. They'll do a sharp 90-degree bank, pull the stick back into the lap, and get into a decelerating 360-degree turn. Seconds. They come in fast because they don't want to have the carrier fleet be vulnerable when they are operating always into the wind and are most vulnerable during that time. Approaching the carrier, we'll get to about 3/4 of a mile, and we're going to be calling now, as I would be pretend to be the landing signal officer as they would be approaching the deck of the carrier. Okay, I was just going to call that. On and on, call the ball, 3/4 mile. Roger ball. Now, preparing to land at a descent rate of some 600 to 700 feet per minute. They don't do so much of a landing as they do a controlled crash. And whether or not the tail hook catches one of the 4 wires stretched across the deck, the pilot will shove the throttles forward in case there's a bolter to give that aircraft enough power to go around. And there they go. Bolter, bolter, bolter. Rob Bonesaw and Lieutenant Jack. Copy that, fellas. Very good. It takes many dedicated, talented folks to keep these airplanes flying and maintained. The maintainers for today's aircraft are AM-1 Travis Williams from Columbus, Ohio, and AM-E1 Shane Murray from Knoxville, Tennessee. Here comes the carrier break one more time. The Super Hornet that you see here today is one that's actually used to train pilots and weapons systems officers at Strike Fighter Squadron 106, based in beautiful Virginia Beach, Virginia, at Naval Air Station Oceana. Bonesaw and currently spend most of their time teaching new pilots and weapons systems officers how to employ the Super Hornet. Currently, there are 15 operational Super Hornet squadrons in the Navy, and the aircraft has served in Afghanistan and Iraq. On behalf of the United States Navy, I thank you for allowing Bonesaw and Rooney to demonstrate the F-A-18 Super Hornet here at Pensacola today. We also want to give a shout out to Lieutenant Tim Atoll Walsh, who is also with the demo team, and his parents are in town, and also the guy who flew in the